Today we're doing something very special. We are going back to Ocarina of Time and we're going to be doing a randomizer. But this is not your traditional randomizer. This right here is something called Beta Quest. Now you might be wondering, what is that and how does that differentiate from a normal randomizer? Well, if I were to boot into the game right now, you're going to see that I'm going to spawn in Ganon's tower by this green beam, which is not what you would see in a normal randomizer. On top of that as well, if I were to go right now and I were to leave by going through this loading zone right here, you are going to see that it is going to bring me into this random room. And if I were to leave, I'll be brought to the market. So what is going on? So this right here is something called a beta quest, which is basically a no logic loading zone randomizer, which means that every loading zone is random. There is no connection in between them. It's completely decoupled, as it's called. And my objective is to beat Ocarina of Time. Now, normally, a normal runner of Beta Quest would just try and find the loading zone that brings you to Ganon to beat the game. But to make it even harder, I have decided to require myself to find all 6 medallions before I am allowed to beat the game. Now, the one thing that actually is kind of nice is that the items are actually kept vanilla, which I'm actually very, very happy about. Because that means that if you were to, for example, find a dungeon, you can be guaranteed, oh, I'm gonna find the bombs, or oh, I'm gonna find the bow. So there is a little bit of calmness to this massive storm. But how it's gonna go, how we're gonna get through all of these loading zones, and how I'm gonna remember all of it, we'll see. That being said, why don't we dive into it, and why don't we just kind of start? I don't really have a strat, to be honest with you. Once we get further in, there's definitely checks that I'm gonna do, but at the beginning right now, it's definitely just gonna be a kind of a strat of going in and out, just to see where I'm brought. One key important note to mention about the requirement of beating dungeons, since I do have 6 medallions I need to get, is that finding a dungeon does not mean I can beat the boss. So when you get into a dungeon, there's a loading zone, and then there's a second one to take you into the boss. So it's going to be very difficult because we're going to have to find the loading zone for the dungeon as well as for the boss. Hey, there we go! We got the normal intro! In only 3 minutes, we found the intro! Nice! The one thing that I really like about the loading zone randomizer is that I instantly can get excited when I get to an area that I know in vanilla game has a good item. Because then I know that I can go and pick it up. So in this case, I know that I can walk up here and guaranteed get the sword. So that's a huge fight and a very good start right there to this loading zone randomizer. Yeah, finding your sword within 5 minutes is definitely very weird. Another loading zone that leads to Kakariko. So right now, it might not seem like this is any skill. For now, this might seem like I'm just going to enter and leave the loading zones. But as you start finding more paths, so for example, here, we just found a loop. This loading zone right here brought us to Kakariko. And this brought us back from Kakariko. So we have just found an official loop. And these are the things that you really want to look for to know how to navigate it. And another thing, too, would be, as an example, one of the main strategies you have in these beta quest randomizers is that you really want to try and basically create what's called a hub. So this is sort of going to be like a hub, if that makes sense. And then you will have kind of like areas that bring you out to different sections. Now, is Kakariko going to be our hub? We don't know that yet. It could as well be Hyrule Field. I hope it's not Hyrule Field. It would be the slowest one to do for sure, because it's so big. But that is the general idea and strat that we're going to have to go with. Graveyard, okay. Yeah, so I could spawn immediately into a boss room if I get lucky, which might make it seem like then it would be really easy to get my 6 medallions. But the one thing I'm going to remind you all of is that it doesn't necessarily help me that much, because I have to also have whatever item is necessary to beat the dungeon boss, which usually is the dungeon item, which is a separate loading zone. Oh, no. Okay, so this is a great example of what could be considered technically a soft lock. So hopefully we don't. So this is a perfect example where it's currently day. I can't pull this grave right here because it says don't cause trouble, I'll tell Dampe. And as child, the only other kind of loading zone that exists in here are the graves over here. But this kid will say no to me because it's day. But the only place I can go then brings me back to the same area I'm in. Now, thankfully, the developer did think about this. So when you are in a situation like this, you can do a save and quit. Now, you can see hold R to save to override save warp. What does that mean? Basically, if I were to perform a save and quit right here, you will notice that it brings me back to the start of where I started this randomizer, meaning that I can start from the very start. So this is basically like child's respawn point right here inside of Ganon's tower. And this will always be the child's respawn point, meaning that I thankfully can never be completely locked out since I can always perform a save and quit. Now, this first two loading zones are definitely basically as the bust. Here, I have a lot of options. I think last time I chose to open up this door. I want to try a few other doors in this market because this market could definitely be the key to immediately getting off to a lot of different locations from the start of the game. Okay. So this is so this we need to remember. So we can't beat this boss yet because we don't have the bow and arrows. But this is a great one. So I'm going to write this down as a small little note. Child market top loading zone equals forest temple boss. If we find the bow and arrows, and we can turn adult, I should say. We also have to find Temple of Time to turn adult, which is going to be hard. But if we find Temple of Time, we can go in here, hopefully, and beat the boss. Okay, so this is actually the first big find. That's very, very good. Now, there's one last thing I want to mention about this randomizer that does genuinely scares me a lot. And that is the fact that this randomizer right here that you are watching is what is called a no-logic randomizer. What that means is that there is no guarantee that this seed can be beatable. And there's a very good chance I'm going to have to do glitches. And even still, I might be screwed. So we're just going to have to hope basically that we get lucky enough that the seed is beatable. So we could spend the next 8 hours going to every loading zone and finding out that it was all just a bust. Okay, wow. Nice loading zone. Tower collapse. Thieves hideout, okay. The back alley of market, okay. Let's try to down loading zone at it. Goron, I'm so lost right now. Oh shit, this is hookshot. This is hookshot. Can I do this as child? I think I can. Wait, this is actually a huge find. So normally, you could only do this as an adult Link. However, because all the loading zones are randomized, it basically wrong-worked me, if that makes sense, as child Link into an adult area. So you can do a certain couple of things out of order that you would normally never be able to see, even with like a speedrun. Which I think is very, very cool. All right. Okay, so that is the hookshot. That is very useful. We can't use this as child just yet, but once we turn adult, this will be very good. Now, I want to leave this area. If I go through this door, I'm going to soft lock, so I have to get crushed. Like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's, I guess, the loading zone for normally where you do archery. How do you know you get soft lock there, Linkus? Because it's not a loading zone randomizer soft lock. I know that there's a Temple of Time block that I can't break since I don't have Temple of Time. Oh my god! Oh my god, I have no idea how I got here. Wait, yes I do. Yes I do. Yes I do. It was Gerudo. It was Gerudo. It was Gerudo. Gerudo default entrance. You went to the Gerudo default entrance, which I can't get to Gerudo, and then you just went back and forth, and then you got here. Okay, this is huge. So now we can actually turn adult and child. Is this open or closed in the loading zone? Shh. Okay, that's a little bit scary. I think I'm going to turn adult. I have more things I can get as an adult than child, I think. Okay, 18 minutes in and having found adult is very good. And that does mean I have 1 out of 6 medallions right there. Because one of the medallions is turning adult for the light medallion. There it is. Oh my god. This spawn is awful. Dude, I can't go through there. Please do not make me have a loop that's bad. Oh, bro. What is the start? Wait! I can actually do this boss! Wait, there is no way! If I don't die here, I can actually do this. Dude, that's crazy! Oh god, I don't think I've ever done this without long shot. Oh no. Okay, so there's a strat to stun lock him here, but I don't have my shield. So I hope you can do this without it. No! Oh my god, if I get hit one more time, I'm dead. Please, this is such a good spawn opportunity. Don't make me lose this opportunity. I could get back, but it's going to be an annoying process to get back. Oh my god. It's going to be quite a process to get back. What a debate. What an actual debate right here. Oh, well, that's okay. Wait. So right now, I know for a fact that loading zone over there is how to get back to child and adult. I know that for a fact. Shield. And I have just enough. It is for child, but it's better than nothing. Okay. Bang. I could actually go back to being turned as child right now, and then go back to being turned as adult to try and get another chance at the weird... I can't go back there because the Gerudo guards. What? Dude, if you get caught, you get brought to the Ganon cuts. That's gonna be so slow. That is so evil. Yeah, so that just means that if whoever gets caught in Gerudo, we have to do this every time. It's gonna be so slow. All right, where do we go? Great. The debate is so big, it brings us to the loading zone on the other side of where we wanted to go. That is crazy. Linkus, this is so confusing. So right now, I can still find things through what's basically considered, I would say, luck. The hard part is going to be once I actually am having to start to properly plan, if that makes sense. Also, I don't know what happens when the timer hits 0. I'm kind of scared of what happens when the timer hits 0. I don't know if I'm going to, like, game over or void out. What is that? Do not get caught again. Oh my god, I think that's a shield. I think that's the Hylian shield. Yes! Okay. Big find. Thank you, Gerudo. Okay, I have nowhere to go. I'm just gonna wait. What happens when the timer hits 0? I don't know. What happens when the timer hits 0? What are you gonna do to me? Oh my god. Wait! Holy shit! Give us the horse! What? I don't know how that makes any sense, but we're... What? Dude, we are so back. Okay, dude. Alright, well, I guess we're probably gonna lose them very soon, but hey, at least once we get a Pona song now, we've technically unlocked it. If we find a Pona song, we are good to go. Kind of scared riding the horse. I feel like I'm somehow gonna run into a soft lock or something with the horse. Never mind. I got left behind by the horse. We're all by ourselves now. Cool. Ouch. Wait, this is actually a big find. We should be able to get Zelda's Lullaby from this, which is very good. All right, teach me Zelda's Lullaby. Dude, we are finding our way up in the world. You learned Zelda's Lullaby. Let me actually try something. Let me go forward to get back to where Zelda was. Kind of fitting that it's by this church. Let's go in here. And then I'm going to leave and see what the loading zone gives us. Wait! Oh my god. Hold on. I need to think. What was that? It was Kakariko Shop, Zelda, back, Fire Temple. Okay. So that is Megaton Hammer. That being said, I know I'm gonna sound like a baby for saying this. There is a 0% chance I'm doing this dungeon with 3 hearts, no fire tunic, no items, no bow, no nothing. We're not even gonna try. No shit. What? Fire Temple leads to the dongo? Okay, so that's bombs. This is something we actually want to get to. I don't think I can pick this up, though, can I? Really? Even as adult Link, I can't pick up the bomb. I need to be able to break this down. Once I can break this down, we can get actual bombs. Oh my god! That's it. This is Ganon found. This is the Ganon loading zone. Okay, we gotta write that down. Graveyard Dampe. Dampe's graveyard is literally the end of the game. Okay, so that is Ganon found. We can't beat the game yet because I want to remind you we have to get all 6 medallions, which is the main bulk of this randomizer, right? Because we have to find all the items and all the bosses. But this is it. So this leads to it. This is the only one that's not randomized. So this is Ganon found. Now, unfortunately, I have to leave, but that is good. Okay. Why couldn't it have been the other side? Why couldn't it have been the other side? Oh, what a debate. Wait! Wait, this isn't a debate? Oh my god, we can do the dongo. We can get bombs. I didn't even think about that. Because usually you always get this as a child. I didn't even think about that. Wait, that's actually good. Okay, I have to get back to Kokiri Forest. Can't you hookshot the other side, Linkus? No, I have a normal hookshot, not long shot. And also, you have to do a bomb super slide, hover boots, backflip thingy to get past that. Ooh, wait. If we're fast, we can get a song. Hold. Okay. So, just want to clarify something. So, you might be thinking, why are you so excited about this song, Linkus? It's not random items, right? So, this is just going to be the song that warps you to the Fire Temple. Well, once I get the Ocarina, I should add, this is really exciting because since the loading zones are randomized, you can get lucky and one of the random songs you learn takes you somewhere great. So for example, you could get really lucky and have it so that maybe this song leads to like Kakariko or Kokiri or Gerudo, if that makes sense. Or if you get even luckier, it could be like obviously like Temple of Time. So you can always change back and forth between child and adult. Even if we get a bottle, we could do Ocarina items to check this out too. So actually next time I get to, as a child, Kakariko, I might actually pick up a bottle. Could you do this, you think, with hookshot and not bow? I don't actually know. Let me try. If so, I might be able to do one of the bosses here. Oh? Okay, well, this might be our second medallion then. Okay, right here, I'm going to do a glitch called ISG, or Infinite Sword Glitch. There we go. All right. I'm almost more excited about getting a heart container than the second medallion. But anyways, that's good. That's 2 out of 6 medallions. Bang. Wait! This is huge. Chat, do you guys remember what happens when adult Link gets access to Kokiri Forest? Kokiri Shop, which takes us to Zelda, which if we go back, takes us to Fire Temple, which if we go back, takes us to Dodongo, which means Bomb Bag is officially ours. I guess we also get access to one more loading zone at the end of this dungeon, but I don't really care that much about that as much as I do about getting bombs. Man, I'm so hungry, I could eat an Octrock. I'm actually kind of excited to get around to finally playing that game soon. Alright, since I am adult Link here, I should be able to make this jump right here. Bang. And then because we did that, we can skip all the other rooms. We can walk up here, open up this chest, and there it is. There is the bomb bag. All right. And now we should be able to go and check the final loading zone in this area, which is obviously the one with the boss. Wow, that is the biggest letdown I've ever felt. We spent so long going all the way over there, and the only thing we got out of that is a default warp to Lake Hylia. Okay, dude. There's no reason to go back to the Dongon thing, so let's try the other loading zones over here. Let's start by trying this house here. Dude, okay, I will tell you one thing. Kokiri Forest is packed. I do not want to do Jabu Jabu, to be honest with you. That being said, I don't know if we need the boomerang, and if we do, it would be kind of nice to have it. It's way better doing Jabu Jabu as adult Link than it is to do as a child Link. Linkus, don't you need the boomerang anyways for the boss here, though? No, because this boss provides you with a stone and not a medallion. All right. And there is the boomerang. Okay, there's nothing more of use for me here. This dungeon is a complete another scam. Yeah, so this is a perfect example where the way for me to get back this child right now is to get over to that loading zone in the corner. Maybe I actually can. Wait, can I stun her? Please. Oh my god. Oh my god. Then we go through here. Then we go through here. And then I want to say it was non-water top part. Bang. Okay, that's our second warp song. That's good. Yeah, so there's one thing I do when I do these randomizers that definitely makes life more manga, which is that most people, when they do a loading zone randomizer, they write down these incredibly massive text documents to remember where everything is and where to go. I kind of just only write it down for the most important checks, and for everything else, I kind of just hope that I remember where I went and where I haven't gone, and I try and go based upon memory. So we'll see how that treats us, shall we? And we'll see how that goes. But, like, I don't see how that could possibly go bad in any way, right? I don't remember, but I feel like there was something I wanted to do that was this loading zone right here. Yes, it was. And actually, kind of lucky I got the boomerang now. This is to get Sun Song. Okay, and there's Sun Song. Once I finally get my ocarina later, I am gonna be in a good situation. Oh my god! No shot! One song led to another song? What? Okay. Hello, Saria song. Dude, what are the odds of that happening? That's crazy. Ganon again? I'm gonna see what loading zone it is if you game over here. Okay, a brand new Thief's Hideout. Holy... Wait, I gotta write that down. That is such an... Hold on. Game over during tower collapse. Walk back in hideout. Shadow Temple boss. That is a third medallion once we are back to being adult. Ooh, okay. The actual OG house leads you here. Okay, let's see if I can still do this. So I'm gonna need nuts. Stab, nut. Stab, nut. Stab, nut. There we go. I don't technically need to beat this, by the way, because this is a stone and not a medallion. But hey, might as well. Yeah, that is true. There's a theoretical chance we would need to get the Song of Time or something like that, in which case getting these stones is worth it. What the What is this? I can't move! What is this? What? Oh my god, there's no end to this. Alright, I'm just gonna take death. If this is the Sacred Realm, then I do not want to be in it. Oh my god. What is this game's obsession with Ganon's tower? Can I get caught by these women? Okay. Let's see if I can do this with ISG. Can I use the boomerang to stun them? That's a certainty. But my Master Sword deals damage to them. Oh, shit. No way that worked! Dude, I was like, wait, if the Master... I think it's because the Master Sword is glitch equipped, so it's dealing Master Sword damage. And I was literally like, okay, I'm going to try and pull out a bomb and get a second form of ISG to see. And I somehow hit, and because I got stunned, I was able to stun lock him because I had infinite sword glitch. I was able to actually take him down. Well, that is 3 out of 6 medallions. Unfortunately, I have only seen one more, which is the water one. Anyways, that's nice. That is officially 3 out of 6 medallions. Oh my god, I'm so short. This is embarrassing. Oh my god. It's been so long since I did this, because this was the first loading zone I picked. Let me go back in here. Oh, yes. Kakariko roof. Wait! Bottle, bottle, bottle. Wait. We're doing bottle. It's still technically considered day. Okay, I'm gonna do old any percent strats right here. So old any percent always used to have to get this bottle, and we are doing it. And there's the bottle. It's a very slow way to have your ocarina, but hey, it is a form of ocarina. Now, all I have to do is pick up a bugs in the bottle, and we're good to go. We can officially use warp songs. Bang. That is our fake ocarina. Okay, chat, it is time to finally check things out. We have 3 warp songs to check out. And if any of them are very good, it is going to be the best time of our life. Because that means that from anywhere in the game, we can warp there. Because it's a warp song. This is one of the biggest moments in the randomizer, so let's see what it is. Let's start with Bolero of Fire. Please be good. Please be good. Prage. Please, 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 please. Literally back to spawn. We got still 2 more songs left. Requiem of Spirit. All right, here we go. Are you kidding me? Okay, 2 loading zones again. Here we go. First one is... I know Lake Hylia is completely and utterly useless. Oh my god. That's okay. There's another loading zone in there. Surely that one is better, right, chat? Right? I would recommend everyone watching this right now to type in a PogChamp and just wait and be ready to press enter. Because this is going to be such an exciting check. Trust me. In 3, in 2, in a 1. I'm literally soft locked. Oh my god, it's soft lock graveyard. Holy crap, this couldn't be worse. This actually couldn't be worse. Let's check out the last warp song. I swear to god, if this is another Thief's Hideout, I'm going to flip. I am going to flip if this is another Thief's Hideout or Graveyard. There is no way! Dude. Let me play Sun Song and go into Damp Bass thing. Playing Sun Song in each area gives you another random loading zone. Oh god, I'm so screwed. I'm never gonna be able to check all of those. It's time to turn adult. We're going back adult, chat. One thing that does scare me is last time I turned adult and I spawned back in, it spawned me in the water boss fight. I hope that still does that and it wasn't just a cutscene the first time. Uh-oh. So does that mean I'm soft locked out of doing that boss ever? Okay. Why not? We'll take it. That's Bo. Let's go get Bo. And there's the bow! Now, I am not going to go through the whole rest of this dungeon, by the way. There is no reason to. There's nothing to find of use here. So I'm instead just going to use a glitch to do the check early for the loading zone that brings us to the boss. So what we're going to do is we are going to go into this corner right here. And then I'm going to backflip and use the hookshot item. Roll, and that's going to clip me inside of this. And then I'm just going to roll and hopefully land in the loading zone. There we go. Okay, I have never been here before. Okay, we have 3 options. This is a brand new loading zone. Kind of actually bad that it's this loading zone because it's going to be kind of tedious to check. So that means that we have 3 checks. We have behind us, we have this door, and we have the front. I'm going to check the door first. Yay, another trial! That's 4 out of 6 trials. I think because of how many hearts I have, I can get the Megaton Hammer in Fire Temple without requiring the Fire Tunic. So I'm going to enter the shop. I'm going to go through this. And then we're going to go into Fire Temple. Okay, so right here I have to do a glitch called Hess, or a hyper-extended super slide. So the reason you want to get a Hess is because you want to get past these firewalls before they basically pop up, so you can get across this fire maze. There we go. Get through the whole room. By the way, there's the Megaton Hammer. Anyways. There is a way I know to clip down to the bottom here to enter the boss room. I don't exactly remember how. There is definitely a setup here. I want to say it's like equip Megaton Hammer, and then I think it's target this wall. And then I think it just let yourself go out. And then once that goes off screen, slash and hold forward. Nope, not it. Wait, I think I remember. Hold on. If I can walk around here. I think that's it. Bang! Oh, God damn it. Well, that is the Fire Temple boss loading zone, so nothing is there, unfortunately. Damn. Very nice. This right here is hover boots, which should be very useful for glitches. That's going to allow us to get a lot more stuff. Bang. Same thing, by the way, with Shadow Temple. So there's only one loading zone for Shadow Temple. And thankfully, unlike the other dungeons, you get the hover boots, which is, you know, the item for this dungeon, instantly. So because of that, we do not have to go through almost anything. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through this one room and pick up the silver rupees to get a small key. And then once I have that, I'm basically ready to instantly just go to the end of this dungeon. There we go. So you can clip through that gate with just a little jump slash at a small angle if you get to the right position right there, by the way. And then if you do that, since you clipped out of bounds, you can just jump straight to the boat, activate the boat. Anyways, here we go. Let's see. What is this one loading zone going to give us? No way! Oh my god. Okay. That's another medallion. No! I don't have enough health! I'm gonna die! No, I'm not gonna survive. I'm gonna die. I have to... Oh my god, I don't have enough health. I'm gonna die. Let me think. Maybe we can try one cycle. We need bomb juice. We need Megaton hammer. We need nuts. So close. Okay, I just have to come back. It's still, the fact that we found that is still huge. Nice. Anyways, not the health I wanted to have, but this is at least where I wanted to go. Because now I can finally get Fire Tunic, meaning if we go back there, we don't have to worry about running out of time anymore. Because now I can just literally explode the Goron that goes around, get it, and we're good to go. Alright. There's the Fire Tunic! You know what? Let me actually just see what happens. Wait! I just came out of bottom of the well right there. If I were to play Sun Song now, would that actually count as the leaving bottom of the well and actually bring me to Water Temple, you think? I don't think so, but it's worth a shot, right? Would be cool. Yes, it actually worked! Oh my god, we're not soft locked. That was a 900 rank player. Thank you, I appreciate that. I just thought about it. I was like, wait, it will count as a reload. So I think it will count as basically me having left Shadow Temple, which is the loading zone that we couldn't get back to. There we go. Bang! There it is. All right. And there is the 4th medallion, 4 out of 6. And that does mean that as of right now, this seed is not unbeatable like we were scared it might be. The only, I guess technically we could get unlucky that it's like non-accessible to get into the boss for Spirit Temple. But most likely that's not the case and we'll be able to make it. All right. This actually somehow ended up being super, super good of a place to go. I don't deserve this, but this is very good. Okay, this should be the loading zone that should take me to Shadow Temple. Yep. And now we should just have to go through Shadow Temple again to get to the fire boss. All right, here we go. This should bring us to... Nice. Fire Temple boss. If we beat this boss, we will get the Fire Medallion, 5 out of 6 medallions, and it will give us one more warp song next time we go to Kakariko Village, which hopefully will be a good song. amazing. That is the 5th out of 6th boss taken down. All right, 5 out of 6 medallions. All right. Fire medallion, 5 out of 6. Wait, that's actually good. Oh my god, we can get a Song of Storms, which gives us a lot of new checks. Actually huge. Okay, and there's Song of Storms. What happens if I enter the warp after having beaten this dungeon already? Where does it take me? Oh, wow. Wait! Am I getting another song? This is genuinely huge. This is another warp song, meaning that we can always warp here. So let's hope it's something good for once. Our previous warp songs have not really been in our favor, if we're being real. Minuet of Forest. A, up, left, right, left, right. Let's try it. This could be huge for us. This could be huge. This is multiple new loading zones. That is finally a pretty good warp. It's not a guarantee because remember, unlike other dungeons, the mirror shield is outside, but there's multiple loading zones to it. One, just leaving. Okay. Dude, honestly, at this rate, we've almost done all the bosses, meaning we could actually maybe get the real Ocarina of Time, because I've already beaten the Deku Tree. I'm about to beat the Dongo now, and we already know how to get to the boss. We just have to go there as child, the Jabba Jabba one. So we're almost like at an all boss one here. Well, it seems like in classic Linkus fashion, it wasn't enough for us to do all the medallions. I guess the randomizer really said, why don't we do all the dungeons? Screw all the medallions. Just do all 9 dungeons. You no need to do just 6 medallions. Thanks, game. This cutscene doesn't work when Link is taller than... What's happening? What's happening? Dude, we are getting our squats in today. Look at those legs, Link. My goodness. Chat. We're running out of places to go. Oh! New warp song! New warp song! I've been trying to redo all the really early game checks that I did way long ago, and it actually worked. Okay. New warp song. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. I swear to God, please be good. That actually is good. I think I've checked everything here, but this is a very good kind of a base warp, because it can basically take me anywhere in the game. I'm totally fine having a warp to get there. I'm totally fine with that. Okay, so chat is telling me to get the silver gauntlet, to get my mirror shield, or to get to the silver gauntlets, which with glitches I can get to my mirror shield. I want to get to Hyrule Field, which actually I don't remember what the fastest way to Hyrule Field is right now. I'll get there. 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 I might get there. I probably won't get there. The fact that I haven't randomly stumbled upon Hyrule Field yet is crazy to me. I know I'm not using a strat, but it's such a common location. I really thought if I just walked through loading zones, I'd get there. It's Hyrule Field! It's got like 20 to 30 loading zones to get there! Oh my god! Oh my god, I made it to Hyrule Field. Okay, so someone said that the way we got there was to go through this and then just walk back, I think is what they said, right? Walk up. Okay, all I have to do now is make sure I can still do this glitch. It's been a long time since I did it, but I hopefully still have the timing down. So target this wall, side turn, and then we're gonna take out bomb, walk back, shield, roll. Okay. Still got it. So basically I did a super slide into the bomb, and then I equipped hover boots, and then at the end of it I had to release my shield and then do a jump slash to extend the slide, and then you can barely make it across. Then we can finally get the mirror shield right there. Now that means if we find the room for Spirit Temple boss, we are officially good to go. And this is also one new entrance for us, which is a letdown. It's time to turn child. Wait. I have to reset again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know I just said it. I know what I just said. I'm sorry. We can't turn into a child yet. No, I just realized that there was a loading zone right there that I've never checked before. And I can't do it as child. Here. This loading zone right here. There's... Why? This is right there! Right as I'm about to turn child so that I can get the real Ocarina of Time. I find the fairy ocarina. Like, literally, at the same time, I'm like, finally, fine. I'll beat the third final dungeon so I can get it. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. I'm still turning child. Ocarina 5 hours in. Now, Chad, we no longer have to drop the fish. I hope you guys enjoy the fish saga. It has unfortunately come to an end, though. I know that some chatters were getting attached to the fish. Okay, I have to check to see how I got into Jabu Jabu again. Just so, because I was gonna beat that dungeon at this point. It's walk up to the room at the top of Lost Woods. Okay. Okay. This brings me to the boss. Bang. There we go. This will be a new loading zone, and it's going to be... This is going to give me the Ocarina of Time. And I think those cutscenes might, maybe even make it a new loading zone as well. I'm not 100% sure about that one. All right. Technically, now we have done all but one dungeon, so it's not just going to be all medallions. It's going to basically end up being an all dungeons run now. If it's a beatable seed. Like I said, it is technically no logic, so there's no guarantee, but we'll find out. Wait, what? No, wait. Oh, God, wait. Oh, no. This can't be accessed as adult. I think it's actually not beatable. It's not beatable. It's a child-only loading zone, and I can't... Wait. Did the devs think about it? Wait. We might actually be able to do this. I have to make sure I do not die, by the way. I'm gonna do, like, no damage here. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, it actually works. God damn it, he was out of the way. Okay, it's gonna be kind of scary to do this as child. One, the camera's weird, I'm so small. But two, I am just kind of scared about how long this is gonna take with my damage. And I can't stun lock them like with the hook shot. And if I die here, I'm screwed. Because this is a once-in-a-lifetime loading zone. Does that make sense? Like, I can't do this again. You can only activate that cutscene once. Can you store a DQ stick jump slash? I unfortunately have 0 DQ sticks. I'm just gonna have to hope that I can make this jump and get ISG really quickly. Damn it. All right, let's see if I can get ISG this time. I think I got it. I got it. That's it. What? You can't stun lock this boss? Oh my god. This is gonna take a while. Oh my god. Okay, so a lot of bosses, if you're slashing every frame, you can just, like, do it. But yeah, so I can't... My sword is just so weak. It's just gonna take a while. Oh! Never mind. I guess I thought... Okay, never mind. We did it! That is all 6 medallions, and I should add, by the way, if you were a little bit sad about only 6 medallions, it ended up being an all dungeons run. We did all 3 stones and all 6 medallions. Anyways, that's it! We can now go and meet Ganon! We just have to turn adult now, and then we can go and do it. Let's do it! Alright, and there is Spirit Medallion. Here we go. Adult time. Anyways, that being said, by the way, can I mention how crazy it is that this warp takes you to literally this grave zone? Like, it takes you right where you need to be. Imagine if you had hit the Twin Rova zone before you hit the Mirror Shield. Well, dude, I would have actually lost. Like, that's what I mean by, like, it is crazy how lucky we got that the seed was beatable, and we did it the way we did. And we ended the run with a kiss. Oh my god. Mwah. Let's go! That's what I'm talking about, baby! Now, I don't have a lot of bonus items, but there is a way that you can keep your Master Sword for this final boss fight. And it is by doing a super slide into the cutscene. And then that lets you hold in the R button to keep the shield out during the cutscene. And as long as you never let go of R, your shield will stay up. And you might be thinking, Linkus, why does that matter? Because these old games are so silly that they actually play out their cutscenes in-game. Why does that matter? Because you would think that the game is just auto-programmed, that it automatically puts the Master Sword out of your hand. No. For some reason, it's actually done through the hit. So if I let go of my shield after the sword gets knocked out of my hand, it stays. Because I shielded the attack. Thanks, game. And then, because I kept the Master Sword, I can just literally hit him 3 times and be done. Now let's go and pick up the Master Sword. Oh shit. Bang! That's what I'm talking about! All right! And there it is! We have officially completed Ocarina of Time, getting every single dungeon complete. All 6 medallions, all 3 stones, and we have completed it in under 6 hours. That is it time! 5 hours, 55 minutes, and 47 seconds! GG, baby. Good run. Good freaking run. GG. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube, hope you enjoyed. This will be up on both the daily channel, fully edited, and as a VOD version as well, if you want to see the whole thing in its entirety. No matter which channel you're watching this on, though, you can click on the screen right now to see 2 more amazing videos if you want some more content. So that being said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it all so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Later, everybody. Bye-bye.